Alright guys, back for another video today. So we're going to talk a little bit about shooting. Now we're not going to do any full-on contact shooting in my apartment because that'd probably not be a good thing. And then my kids are upstairs. You always want to practice safety first. Okay, so we're going to work on very simple technique skills when it comes to archery. So one thing a lot of people wonder about is draw, right? Because you see what most people do when they're drawing, they're doing this whole thing, right? I see a lot of you guys, and I don't see a lot of people who are beginning, is they do this whole thing. And they grab the right here, here, here. I don't know, they grab it anywhere, right? And they're doing this whole thing. Okay, now I'm good to go, right? Get into the good habit, the great habit of when you're drawing, here, I'll get down so you guys can sort of see it, right? Get into the habit drawing here. Always, even if you like, I remember I was at the range one day and this guy was like, hey, I noticed that you always grab your arrows right here and you're trying to do this whole thing, right? It looks a little cheesy. See how I'm doing it? Grabbing like this, right? He said, don't ever do that because one of the main reasons why you grab it right here is so you can check the knock, because you can kind of sort of feel if the knock is sliding off, right? That's one of the things you need to check. And if there's when your knock is cracked, well, and you put in your here, and you put on a string, you might not see that it's cracked, right? So then you're sticking it on, you're not paying attention, and you go to pull back, right? And it just explodes in your face, and you gouge on an eyeball, you bruise your face or whatever, because you didn't check the knock. So always make sure that you grab from, either grab the knock or you grab the back of the arrow. It's a good habit to get into. And also practice drawing from your quiver. Now this quiver that I have right now, I don't really use it anymore because it's broke. The arrows will literally slide through the very bottom of it while I'm running, so I don't use this quiver. You know, it's my favorite quiver because I like this. It makes me feel like I'm a badass. So always practice, see, this naturally. I usually grab from the knock, right? And the way I shoot, boom, right there. Now some people say, okay, so how do you shoot? And I made videos like this before, but some people may have missed it, right? So what I do is, a lot of people, when they draw, they're trying to stick it on there, and then most people, once again, there's nobody in any direction, right? This bow only pulls back to like 25 pounds, 26 pounds pressure, so this is not going to go through any walls. Even if I pull this back full draw right now, and I shut out the wall, the arrow will shatter against the wall, right? So there's nobody around, so a lot of you people out there are like, you're so unsafe. You're drawing in your house. How evil of you. This arrow's not going to go through the wall. Even if I use my 45, 50-pound bow and I try to shoot it through the wall, the arrow would shatter. Okay, so don't think, oh, it's going to go right through the wall and hurt somebody on the other side. It's not a bullet. It's a piece of wood with a tip. The tip is not even. Look, here's the tip. Those of you guys out there who are so worried about, oh my God, this guy's drawing in. It's not a broadhead or anything like that, right? So, kids are upstairs sleeping, everybody's safe. So when I draw back, people are like, oh, relax. So basically when most people draw, they go right here, corner of the mouth, and they shoot. For me, that doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work for me? I'll show you. When I'm going like right here, it's too low for me, right? It's too low for me. I aim and I hit. I always shoot too low. And it just doesn't translate between the tip of the arrow and the target, right? So, my secret to shooting, if you guys want to learn how to shoot right away, right? Like, and you can figure out your own method of shooting. Some people shoot corner of the lip. Somebody commented on one of my videos the other day, you're not drawn to the corner of your lip. How wrong. I'm like, if my own method works, and I draw like up here, wherever else I want to draw, and it hits the middle of the target, that's all that matters. Those out there, there's no right way and there's no wrong way to shoot a bow. Okay? So I'm going to teach you guys my method of how to shoot. Right? So I'm looking directly at the camera. Think of like a gun. Your front sight post and your rear sight post. And you say, well, what do you mean well, let's start with your front sight post. Okay, I'll show you the front sight post. Right here, see right here? Let's take this off for a second. Right here. Those of you guys can see it. This is the front sight right here. See this? Just think of that front sight post on a rifle, right? Front sight post on a rifle. That's the front sight post. Just like that. See my eye? It's right there. Whoop. Now I'm gonna show you guys my rear sight. Rear sight. Once again, arm is mostly extended. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw. Now my rear sight is right underneath, like the feather, fletching feather, whatever you guys have, vein, right there. My rear sight is underneath my eye. I can kind of sort of see exactly where I'm aiming, right? And I'd say it's accurate out to about 12 yards. 12 yards before I have to kind of make some mental calculations and adjustments. But from right here to here, it goes straight to the target, 10 to 12 yards out. Some people are like, man, I've been trying to, these different methods. I'm trying the Mediterranean draw underneath, touching the part of my lip. I'm trying the 3-finger under. I'm trying all these different methods, and it's just not working. Well, try this canted method. Try it and see if it works. If it doesn't work for you, then go and try different methods, right? But for me, the thing that works for me the best is the canted method. Underneath my eye, boom, I put my thing on target, and I kind of use an instinctive shot. You just got to know your bow. How far am I away, right? Do I need to adjust? Now, the only drawback to canted, I'll tell you guys, the only drawback to canted method, right, is if you're drawing back, right? You need to make sure that you are doing the same as much as possible, right? So if you're drawing back like this, and the next time you're kind of like this, and the next time you're like this, and the next time you're like this, well, your shot's going to be all over the target. So, as much as possible, try to have as consistent as possible. Archery is all about consistency. So the easy thing, what makes this method easy is that you're doing the same thing every single time. Problem with canted is it's never going to be the exact same. Your body's never going to be the exact same every single time. So you need to make sure that your canted is as close to your last shot as possible, right? Because you don't want to be like this, and then like this, and then the third shot like this, and then this shot like, you're just going all over the place. You're going to, see that right there? Now that movement, it's going to get your arrows all painting all over the target. And that's one thing I've struggled with when it comes to archery, right? So try to be as consistent as possible. So if I'm going to shoot, once again, I'm going to show you guys, just like that, boom. And I have that, and then when I release that shot, grab the next arrow, I'm the exact same way as possible, all right? I think that's probably one of the easiest methods to shooting quickly, because people who are trying to do this right here, I mean, maybe it works for a lot of people, but it's the arrow's down here as opposed to right here, where I can see exactly where it's going to go straight to the target. Right down here, for me, it's like I don't know where that arrow's going. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I got painting all over the target, just arrows everywhere. So that's just my tip for archery. Another method, another thing that you should try to remember as much as possible is when you're drawing, this whole thing, once again, remember I was telling you guys earlier about doing this whole thing? You've already lost your target. So, knocking without looking at the target. See, I should just be looking at the target, right? So when I'm drawing, see, look, boom. You see me look down, and what's a lot of people do? Okay, target's gone. Where'd it go, right? So, as much as possible, learning how to feel the knock. Remember, you should be able to see empty space in between. I should be able to see my eye in the camera, or at least see the other side. If you're like this, well, you can't see anything. This, rotate it, feel that nice sweet spot, and when you're going to knock it onto the thing, remember to keep your pinky out. Pinky is gonna catch. See, it's gonna stop your hand from going any further. I'll show you guys up close. Boom. See right here? That should stop my hand from going any further. Because I'm like this, I'm gonna slide everywhere. Oh, I can't figure it out, right? This stops it. It's like an anchor. Boom, boom, boom. Just as simple as that. And even if you put it too low, it'll slide back into place. If you knock it, you hear the click when it knocks. So even if it's not perfect, or even if it's down here, you can it'll still slide back on there. A lot of people think, oh, I gotta do it perfect. No. Some people try different methods. They're like, oh, maybe if I slide it somehow like this, you're gonna miss it. See? You're gonna miss it every single time. I don't know if you guys can kind of sort of see it, but you're gonna be missing it. Oh, I can't figure it out. So, once again, as I'm drawing, right, pulling it out there, boom. See that? Didn't even look at the knock. That's one of the most things I struggled with when I was first learning how to knock without looking, right? And then you pull back. However method you use, some people use different methods of this, right? Me, Canted method. Once again, the rear sight post, front sight post, put it on the target, and you should just look at the target. Just feel it. It's an instinctive, when you start shooting, the more you shoot, you're gonna get used to, okay, let's probably have the tip too high, the tip too low, tip too far this way, tip too far that way. And you just make small adjustments to your target, right? So I'm not gonna shoot in the house with family in the house, obviously. You don't wanna, you should always wanna practice safety. Once again, as I'm drawing it, boom. Look, see that? See how easy that was? You didn't see me, you didn't, oh well, I didn't full knock, but you see I got it on there. I was gonna hear that click. Pull back. Once again, one more time. Boom. See? I didn't even look. I didn't even look at the arrow. Go back to your anchor point. Maybe that looks like the same anchor point. Now down here, over here every single time, down here all over the place. The same anchor point every single time. So if you draw the corner of your lip, draw the corner of your lip. That makes you feel comfortable. Me, I'm up here because I want to be near my eye. Now, last thing, a warning that you saw me do earlier, make sure you knock it. So make sure you can hear that click. That click is so important. Make sure you're going to shoot near your eye. If you don't have it knocked near your eye, you don't have it knocked fully, even near your eye, that arrow could come up and slap you in the eye. always make sure you knock it. Get that little click sound, and then you're ready to go. So, oh, another thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I saw your white arrow, the white part of your vein is inside, so it's going to hit the inside of your bow, and it's going to make the arrow go fly off too far to the left or to the right. Right? Okay, so if you're an archer, you'll know one main things you'll learn is that if you shoot out to 40 yards, great. If you ever really need to be shooting out to 40 yards, never. If you're a hunter, most people don't shoot out to 40 yards. That'd be stupid. Even with a compound bow, most people shoot like within 20 yards. So learning how to shoot out to 40 yards, great. For a 3D competition, sure, great. But if you're wanting to learn how to hunt, you're not going to be shooting out to 40 yards. There's so many factors. So when I'm knocking it, right, and it goes on the inside, oh my God, it's going to make my arrow flop all over the place. No. So you got to test your arrows. 10 to 12 yards, there's zero effect. Zero effect on my target. Zero effect on my target. Now, if I'm shooting out 20, 30 yards, probably, so I want to probably pay more attention to that, but I've tested my bow and my arrows. When I'm drawing, right, and say I get it on there, right, and, well, this time I actually got it correctly. I'm not too worried at 10 to 12 yards. I'm a little bit more worried between 15, 20 yards, where I'm like shooting out and the arrow starts doing weird things. Yes, that could be a factor. But see how I always grab? Always, see? You didn't even see me like adjust it. I just naturally always grab. See? Boom. And I slap it on there. Oh, I screwed up this thing. Let's try it again. Y'all just saw me screw it up. All right, so boom. Just like that. I even have to work on it, right? Make sure you always knock it. Make sure you always knock it on the string, right? Underneath your knock. This extra stuff where you're like, okay, cool. All right, cool. If you're at the range, sure. When I'm out in the field, man, and I'm having fun, I'm not trying to sit there and look down, man. I'm grabbing it, I'm slapping that bad boy on there, and I'm ready to shoot. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hit that like, subscribe button. I'll see you later.